Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources.
BBC News Business. February 23, 1902 America, New York, COVID. We'll still ask staff to isolate despite rule change. Some businesses raise concerns over the removal of all COVID rules in England from Thursday.
New York Times Business.
February 23, 1901 America, New York. Google eases pandemic rules for employees in the U.S. The company also said it would restore many of its famed office perks.
New York Times Business.
February 23, 1851 America, New York. White House weighs release of more oil from strategic reserve. America's emergency stockpile was tapped in November, seemingly to little effect.
New York Times Business.
February 23, 1820 America, New York. White House prepares curbs on Russia's access to U.S. technology. Biden administration officials have warned Russia that it could face further restrictions on technology that is critical to its economy and military. Wally Adeyemo, the Deputy Treasury Secretary, in November.
BBC News Business.
February 23, 1730 America, New York. Sunak firmly believes in lower taxes ahead of tax rise. The Chancellor will pledge to deliver a lower tax economy amid pressure scrap rises in national insurance.
Daily FX Market News.
February 23, 1730 America, New York. Euro USD rate outlook confined by monthly range ahead of US PCE report. Euro USD may consolidate ahead of the update to the U.S. Personal Consumption Expenditure PCE price index as the exchange rate appears to be confined by the February range.
Global economy.
February 23, 1655 America, New York. First FT. Separatist leaders ask Putin to use military force in Ukraine, Kremlin says. Plus, the world's first quantum gravity sensor and real-world profits in the metaverse.
New York Times Business.
February 23, 1619 America, New York. IMAX looks beyond movies to live events. To combat the decline of theater-going, the large-format cinema company will show events like concerts, stand-up comedy and e-sports tournaments.
Armstrong Economics. February 23, 1606 America, New York. Private blog. Russia bans exports of fertilizer. Wheat price rising. Private blog. Russia bans exports of fertilizer. Wheat price rising. Private blog posts are exclusively available to Socrates subscribers. To sign up for Socrates or to learn more, please visit ask-socrates.com.
New York Times Business.
February 23, 1510 America, New York. What the conflict in Ukraine means for the U.S. economy. A Russian invasion of Ukraine could push up oil and food prices globally at a time of already high inflation. In the U.S., it will drive up uncertainty. A forklift operator moved steel sheets at the port of Mykolaiv. Marginal revolution.
February 23, 1410 America, New York. Wednesday assorted links. 1. Jason Furman on gas tax incidents, policy economics, and other matters. And more. 2. The redistribution results seems to be false. 3. The mainstreaming of sexual wellness products, NYT.
New York Times Business.
February 23, 1404 America, New York. Russia could use cryptocurrency to mitigate U.S. sanctions. Russian companies have many cryptocurrency tools at their disposal to evade sanctions, including a so-called digital ruble and ransomware. The data center for Bit River, which provides services for cryptocurrency mining in Bratsk, Russia.
Daily FX Market News.
February 23, 1400 America, New York. Gold versus BTC, risk-off assets in the Ukraine crisis. Chris Vecchio and Ilya Spivak sat in on last night's Jones and Grace to analyze what the best risk-off havens are.
Wall Street Journal Markets. February 23, 1352 America, New York. Activision gives Microsoft costly new ammunition. The video game publisher's weakened position could make antitrust arguments harder to support.
New York Times Business. February 23, 1338 America, New York. Starbucks' strategy for responding to union elections is dealt a setback. The National Labor Relations Board ruled that single Starbucks stores, not multiple locations in an area, were the proper jurisdictions for unionization votes. The Starbucks Workers United headquarters in Buffalo.
Global economy.
February 23, 1315 America, New York. Imposing sanctions tests market confidence.
Russia's actions increase uncertainty over when central banks should tighten monetary policy.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
February 23, 1314 America, New York, home improvement giants can still help you. Lowe's and Home Depot grew sales at a speedy pace over the last 2 years. They're still seeing room for growth this year.
New York Times Business.
February 23, 1305 America, New York, EU considers due diligence law for company supply chains. Under the legislation, known as a due diligence law, businesses would need to establish regulations to detect, prevent and mitigate breaches of human rights. Didier Reynders, the European Union's Commissioner for Justice, we can no longer turn a blind eye.
Marginal revolution.
February 23, 1259 America, New York, Ronald Reagan is underrated. That is the theme of my latest Bloomberg column. Here is one excerpt. As I interpret the career of Reagan, he understood another point very well, and that concerns the scarcity of moral capital.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
February 23, 1257 America, New York, Lowe's share price rises as profitability improves. The home improvement retailer said its gross margin widened in the latest quarter despite supply chain and wage pressures.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
February 23, 1257 America, New York, Medicare proposal on Alzheimer's drug draws criticism from drug makers. The agency proposed limiting coverage of Biogen's Aduhelm to patients enrolled in government-sanctioned clinical trials, a decision that would also apply to similar drugs being developed by rival firms.
Daily FX Market News.
February 23, 1230 America, New York, 3 key tips to building your confidence as a trader. Confidence in the world of trading is a big part of achieving success. In this video, you will learn 3 key steps you can take to not only build confidence but to maintain it for you to minimize ANX.
Global economy. February 23, 1205 America, New York, the ECB must move slowly on interest rates. Premature withdrawal of monetary accommodation could kill the recovery.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
February 23, 12 o'clock America, New York. How should real estate agents be paid? Many researchers and consumer advocates believe it's time to change the commissions that home sellers pay. But how? 3 researchers discuss some alternatives.